Now, many of you already know that Bulgaria is one of the countries that NEO plans to penetrate this year, right? Bulgaria was on the list of the 7, 8 countries that NEO said they will penetrate this year and next year, or just on the day they announced their Q1 earnings. And ladies and gents, the reason why I'm taking you back and I'm talking about Bulgaria, well, as soon as you notice that there are flyers apparently, or an exhibition which gathered around or more than 100 plug-in hybrid and full electric vehicles, and Neo and Firefly were featured. I mean, as soon as you notice that that flyer right there has got a Neo. And this, once again, as people in Bulgaria see this, or on this exhibition or close to this exhibition, and they see Neo, guess what? It's going to attract many people to obviously want to come and see what's happening in Bulgaria, because look, it has been something that was said, or we first read during the Q1 earnings just a couple of weeks ago, and right now seeing flyers already about Neo, it shows you of how serious Neo is, or when it comes to penetrating Bulgaria. Apparently Bulgaria, it will be penetrated, or Neo will start selling their cars in Bulgaria with their partner, or using the partner they've partnered with in Bulgaria sometime in September. And boy, I must say, seeing that already there's work that has been done, or that is being done in Bulgaria, of Neo being featured on exhibition, it is something that is just so great, something that is very, very exciting. Because one thing that I have discussed with you is that Neo is a very, very popular company, and it's not only popular in China, but it's popular globally. Everywhere in the country where you go, there will be someone that knows about Neo. Me, I'm in South Africa, I live in South Africa, and I know about Neo. And this speaks volumes about the kind of company and the kind of cars that Neo is building, right? Though they have not penetrated so many countries, Neo is known everywhere. And so many of the people cannot wait to see Neo starting to sell their cars in their country, including myself, right? We cannot wait, because we have heard so much, we have read so much, we have seen so much, and right now we want to experience, we want to see, we want to touch, we want to a full experience of this Neo ecosystem, which is something that is very, very good. And this, my dear friends, it's one thing that will make Neo to win at the end of the day. One of the videos I did discuss with you is that, look, there are companies or EV makers like Xpeng that have been using the same strategy that Neo is now implementing, of using distributors and not penetrating the markets by themselves, which has led EV makers like Xpeng to sell year to date over 12,000 overseas with the tariffs, which shows you that this strategy really works, and it's going to make, of course, EV makers like Neo to also do well. I know Neo, unlike Xpeng, Neo is selling expensive cars, but there's also Firefly there that they are taking to Europe, which I can be confident that even if Neo does not sell a lot of units like what we are seeing into Xpeng, that sells mostly mass market brands, mass market models, Neo's Firefly will help Neo get its momentum, or increase its momentums when it comes to sales in Europe. So I am very happy, I am excited. Blue sky is coming, long term will win. Those that are persevering will most definitely be rewarded with time. And one thing I like about Neo penetrating, or using this strategy to penetrate other various countries in Europe, is that it saves them a lot of cost. Because have a look at the kind of cost that they are incurring. Norway, I mean, Neo is doing pretty, it's not doing that bad. In fact, Norway is what has been carrying or contributing, I think, most of the almost 600 cars that Neo has sold to date. But countries like Germany, Sweden, Denmark, and Netherlands, Neo has been struggling to generate sales. And remember, now they've got Neo houses, Neo stores there, and it means that they are having a lot of cost to obviously make those places run. And knowing that they are not selling that well, It's obviously not that good. But again, also there, one thing that I like is that NIO is also going to introduce Firefly. Remember with Firefly, or part of the reason why NIO is not doing that well, is obviously their cars are so pricey, and with the tariffs that the EU Commission has imposed onto NIO of 20.8% last year in October, you and me can agree that it makes, of course, NIO cars to be so expensive. Not many people can afford these cars. I mean, yes, there are some sales that NIO is still making in Europe, but honestly, truth be told, NIO can't sell that much because those 20.8% of tariff increase we saw in October are making NIO cars to be so expensive. I mean, NIO cars are already expensive, even in China for that matter. It's not many people that can afford NIO cars even in China, and therefore now you can imagine also incorporating the shipping cost and these tariffs. It just makes Europe, of course, NIO, to be a very difficult market for NIO to penetrate, and therefore it will be very important that the EU Commission and China comes to an agreement of a base price for the EV cars, because with that we know that NIO at least sales can start to recover. Because there was a point in time, I think it was Germany, where we saw NIO at some point in time selling or being able to sell, I think, over 500 units on a monthly basis, which was so amazing, so great. It happened, I think, a year or two ago, which is something that is great, and we want that to happen again. And one of the things that will help NIO get to those numbers, those figures in Germany and other places in Europe, is obviously if tariffs are to come down. When tariffs come down, at least it's going to make it easier for people to be able to afford these some of these NIO cars. But Firefly, thank God there's Firefly, man. Firefly, it's just going to, I think the chances of it making it big in Europe are so massive, which is why even when they were making that car, the primary objective was Europe, which is why they wanted to launch it first in Europe. But because of the tariffs, because of what was just happening in Europe, they could not launch it anymore in Europe and decided to launch it in China. This is what happened. But thank God, man, I think things are unfolding nicely in Europe, and not only are we going to see NIO selling NIO and Firefly in so many countries in Europe, but the tariffs could be eased, or there could be a massive drop down of the tariffs onto EV makers like NIO, which is something that is very good. Who knows, the ET9 could be one of the cars that after the easing of the tariffs we see it also being available in Europe. And I tell you, in Europe, ET9, in as much as it is very expensive, it has got a market, and it will obviously take head on, put on some serious challenge onto the Mercedes Maybach S-Class, Audi A8, BMW 7 Series, and I cannot see it not, I don't see it not posing a threat to those German luxury brands, which is why it's important that EU Commission, China finalize the tariff escalations, finalize these tariff tensions, and things are relaxed, and companies like NIO continue doing well overseas. Blue sky is coming, long term will win. Those that are persevering through what they're doing, the share price will most definitely be rewarded with time. Takes me some time to make these videos, and all I ask from you is to give it a thumbs up so that at least you can be notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Blue sky is coming, long term will win. I'll see you on the next one, my dear friends. That is all from me, and God bless you all.